Hi, this is Teacher Jen from conversation223 and welcome again to a new lesson on essential English patterns. Today, we will discuss a new pattern, and it's the very useful pattern, don't be afraid of. Don't be afraid of. Don't be afraid of. In this pattern, you are telling someone not to be scared, frightened, anxious, or terrified about something. Again, in this pattern, don't be afraid of, you are telling someone not to be scared, frightened, anxious, or terrified about something. Now, let's discuss the following sample sentences so that you can understand it better. Number 1. Don't be afraid of him. Don't be afraid of him. In this sentence, you are telling someone not to be scared or frightened of him. Maybe that person is saying that that certain person is not scary or that person is kind. Number 2, don't be afraid of rejection. Don't be afraid of rejection. Here, you're telling someone not to be anxious of refusal or dismissal. Okay? Of course, rejection is not the end of the world. You can always start from the beginning, or you cannot please everybody. So don't be afraid of rejection. Number 3, don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of failure. Here, you're telling someone not to be scared or anxious of defeat or misfortune. If there is failure, there is always beginning. So don't be afraid of failure and be very happy that you can still begin, or you can always begin when you failed. Number 4, don't be afraid of me. Don't be afraid of me. In this sentence, you're telling someone not to be scared or anxious of you. And number 5, don't be afraid of my dogs. Don't be afraid of my dogs. Here, you're telling someone not to be frightened or terrified of your dogs. Now, it's our turn to make our own sentences. So my sentence is, don't be afraid of scary movies. Don't be afraid of scary movies. So in my sentence, I am telling you not to be scared, frightened, anxious, or terrified about scary movies. Of course, most of the time, they are just fiction, so that means most of them are not true. So don't be afraid of scary movies. Now, how about you? What is your sentence? Very good. Now, let's have a review and read the following sentences once more. Please follow me. Don't be afraid of him. Don't be afraid of him. Don't be afraid of rejection. Don't be afraid of rejection. Don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of me. Don't be afraid of me. Don't be afraid of my dog. Don't be afraid of my dog. Very good. Now let's go on to the dialogue part. And for dialogue number 1, you'll be speaker A, I will be B. And for dialogue number 2, I will be speaker A and you will be B. Let's start with number 1. Does he bite? Okay. Now, how about number 2? I don't know if I should give the boss my proposal. Thanks. Very good. Now, as you can see, our pattern is very useful to use in daily conversations. So, I can expect you to use this very easy pattern to express yourself more in English. Now, let's go back here, and I want you to review this pattern together with the sample sentences. Please memorize all the sentences here because they might come in handy when you are expressing yourself in English. But don't forget to make your own sentences as well, because it can definitely help you practice and enhance your English skills. Now, this is the end of our lesson. I hope you learned something. This is Teacher Jen from Camglish.com saying goodbye and see you on our next video. Goodbye!